My name's Eddie. I've been playing poker for about a year, just long enough to know how little I actually know. I'm here to learn fast or burn chips trying.
And I'm Ryan. I'm a professional poker dealer who's been playing the game for over 20 years. I've seen every type of player, from stone cold killers to total disasters. And now I'm putting Eddie to the test.
In my quest to level up, Ryan's going to throw every style at me. The tag, the lag, the maniac, the whale, and more. Each episode will run 5 hands and break down the strategy, player types, position, and mindset behind every move.
This isn't just poker. This is a battlefield of brains and bluffs.
So join us for The Tilt Factor.
Now you're on the button.
With 10s this time.
10's on the button. Interesting. Raised up to 12 by the Maniac. No surprise there.
The whale calls with 4-3 suited.
This is just the Maniac mixing it up with King 7 off. Just because, you can never put him on any 2 cards. So he likes that kind of...
So it looks like I'm going to 3-bet here.
That mystery.
45.
Yeah, you got the whale called. You make it 45.
So
I don't mind that, but I might have probably would have made it a little bit bigger personally.
Me too. I just thought that. Should I have gone
$12, I might have gone to like 55 or 60.
I was thinking the same thing.
Just because you got the 2 guys that are action in there, and I want to price one of them out.
Yeah.
Ideally. I mean, you still have position, and it's only a 3-way, but I still think heads-up situation with 10s is better, because too many scary cards can come on the flop.
Yeah, and I got the whale and the maniac who are both prone to calling everything, which they do. So I didn't get to isolate like I planned.
It's only $30 more.
Six, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, the maniac's got all the chips on the table, and the whale came to play. So let's see the flop. Dream scenario. You flop set. Love it. Mm-hmm. Interesting though that you also have the maniac with top pair. Right. So Maniac checks, which is unusual. He's only doing that because you had 3-bet pre-flop, right?
Right.
So this is an interesting dynamic.
So I checked too on the flop there. I'm on the button, so they both checked to me.
Zero information.
Yeah. So what do you think I should have thrown out a little bit there?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's 135, 140 in the middle. I would have liked to throw out like 40, 50 bucks.
35, 40 bucks, 40, 50 bucks?
Yeah,
okay.
40, 50 bucks. There's a flush draw and a straight draw out there. You want to find out who's got either of anything.
Gotcha.
Right?
So bet something.
You got to bet something. Because
otherwise you don't get any information.
Card, that's one more card that makes another flush draw, or makes the flush, or makes some kind of a straight, possibly. So sets are vulnerable. Especially if it's a rainbow board. Let's say it was like King 9-3 rainbow.
Right.
Or, sorry, let me rephrase that. Let's say it's like 10-6 deuce rainbow. Top set, dry as can be. Let them catch up. But because there's texture, you got to find out if somebody has a heart flush draw, if somebody has a straight draw that they're going to chase,
or top pair.
Throw at something, or top pair,
right?
Which he doesn't have the best kicker, which explains why he's checking.
Gotcha.
That flop and your 3-bet on the button. He wants to see what you're going to do. So
let's go.
You check back. Turn card comes.
6. Now he starts pumping it up.
Now Maniac's like, these guys are weak. I got a king. Gonna throw something out. Throws out 60. Now, you see whale calling 62, which kind of smells like a draw.
That did.
It doesn't really smell like
strength.
Yeah, he's got a big king. If he had a big king, I think the whale probably would have thrown something out there.
I agree.
At you, just to see what you did behind. Like if you had king jack or king queen,
right?
But he didn't. So he just calls. Now you take the opportunity to, at this point,
kick it up a little,
raise.
Right.
Which you absolutely need to raise here, because now there's 2 flush draws, 2 straight draws, and you raise it up to
what am I betting here?
How much? A couple hundred?
I think so.
Let's count it out. Oh, you say all in.
I just go all in, because I didn't have that big of a stack to go. I think
the all-in's the play.
I was only like 223 effective there.
So I like the all-in.
You like the all-in?
I like, based on how much is in the pot now and how vulnerable you are. Like you gain some, you have some fold equity.
Yeah, it's like, what am I going to do on the next street when I only have, $60, $70?
So if you raise to like 150, you only got 70 behind it. It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
The all-in jam is fine.
Okay.
So you all-in jam. The Maniac reluctantly lays it down, and you see the whale calling, which, as to be expected, with opening it straight and a flush draw.
Yeah. And it was only 120 more to call it.
With these kind of scenarios, like knowing I'm going against that hand, but I always like to run it multiple times.
Right.
You're not a fan of it. You like Max Payne. So if they spike on you, but given scenario as far ahead as you are, I still like the idea of running it twice or 3 times.
Gotcha.
If they're open to it.
Gotcha.
And you're just mitigating variance.
Gotcha.
Because if they spike on you the first time, you're dead. If you run it twice, maybe he wins the first one, you win the second one, chop, no blood. If maybe your hand holds up both times.
Right.
So it ends up paying off for you, and you fade the straight and flush draw, and you win the pot. But I would say
he had a ton of outs.
He had a lot of outs. So I like running that option.
Gotcha.
And I think it's something
that I
given the choice, if the casino offers it, or if it's a private game, home game, that you should look into doing it.
Absolutely.
You really should. Longevity wise, it's gonna help your bankroll, especially when you're the one who's getting it in good.
Okay.
When you're ahead, when you're in the advantage, and with a set, you're a favorite. So even against a straight and a flush draw.
Cool.
Too many times have I seen players just say nope one time, and then just get stacked by the person who has that kind of a hand,
right? And
then get totally mad, pissed off, and then they say, well, wait, let's see what happens if we would have run it twice. And then they would have won the second board, and then they would have chopped that whole pot with some side money that was there. So, yeah, consider that. I mean,
absolutely.
On the smaller games in casinos, they typically don't want that just because it slows down how many hands they're getting per hour.
Because of the rake and everything, right? Yeah,
you really got to get to like a bigger stakes game where it's a player consensus, and the floor man will say, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Some of them it'll be like, if the pot's over $1,000, we're okay with running it twice.
So the gardens generally won't do it.
And like I said, every game's a little different. They're bigger games. I know that they're able to do it because otherwise the players would be like, I'm not gonna play here.
Right. So if you're on like 5-10 or 5-5 or something like that,
we want the option to run it twice, or we just won't play.
Right.
Just because it's so much money. You know what I mean? Thousands of dollars. Like, you got to have that option.
Right.
You really have to have that option to just offset the variance on it. The casino's still making rake, and it doesn't take that much longer in Hold'em to, deal out another turn in river or whatever, right? Or if it's a big all-in preflop for whatever reason, it's aces against kings or something like that. Yeah, I'd like to not, dust off my whole bankroll or my stack on one hand if it's something that potentially can get chopped. Now, you can still lose both and still get stacked.
Of course.
But,
But when you run it once, it's that, you're not giving yourself the chance.
Yeah, you're not giving yourself the possibility to potentially, win that second board.
I'm just like, do it once.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. So I am in the cutoff with 10-9 off here. Elliot the fish is gonna do something.
Yeah, he's got suited cards. Why not?
We were making sure the button was on the right place. Okay, so Elliot is first to act with Jack 3. So you see fish limping a lot?
Yeah, they limp all the time.
Gotcha.
They'll limp with aces.
Gotcha.
And then somebody will raise and they'll just call. They're never really being the aggressors.
Right.
Very rarely are they ever going to be, aggressors on the table.
All right, so I called 15 here from the cutoff with 9-10 off. I normally wouldn't do that.
Not really a fan.
I normally wouldn't play this hand in general. And maybe on the button if everyone else limps to me or something like that, or if I'm on the big blind, get the big blind special or something. But
I prefer raising,
even with that hand,
rather than calling a raise with that hand.
Interesting.
Yes. I mean, if there's no action, if it's like limp and it comes around to you,
raise it.
I like raising it because, that can mean you have a variety of hands. You could have king, queen, you could have, pocket nine, whatever. Like, you could have a lot of hands right there. But just calling a raise with unsuited 10-9, I think
It's just
you
asking
need a gin
for trouble
board.
because, exactly.
You don't want to hit a 9.
I need to nail it. Yeah.
You don't want to hit a 9. You don't want to hit just a 10. You know, if you hit an open-ended straight draw, like flop comes up, ace, 8, 7, now you're calling off on straight draw options.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just can get expensive. Like, you either need to flop gin or it's just going to cost you money to chase.
Yep. All right, well, let's play it out and let's see exactly what happens, because I probably will end up doing that.
So you got tag 7-8 suited on the button, which I like. And here comes punishment from Maniac with Queen 8 suited.
Of course. And then I'm just going to fold out my 15 that I just literally lit on fire.
Whale's going to call because he came to play.
Oh, I'm going to call this? Okay. Let's be stupid.
Yeah, obviously 2 mistakes in a row.
Right.
Okay. And at this point,
so I just lit that $60 on fire.
So 7-8 suited on the button. He's like, I'm priced in now.
Right.
So pot odds got a call with 7-8 suited. Flop comes up gin for the Maniac.
Right.
Maniac checks because obviously flop trips. Check. Check that again. All right. Didn't connect. Turn card 7 didn't help anyone.
Nope.
Would have been interesting if a 5 came on the turn, because then Whale would have boated up. Got to throw out something, because he made it 80, got 4 callers, 320, so he throws in 55, like a total teaser bet, which could mean anything. Like, you could have hit a 7 there.
Right.
But sensed a lot of weakness. Nobody bet anything, but I mean, he was trapping just the same way. Right. River didn't mean anything. So
so definitely should have just let that go pre-flop and call it a day.
Let it go pre-flop, save $15.
Yep.
And then in turn save
60.
80.
Yeah, 80. Exactly.
And, I mean, it's all about maximizing your chips so you can get them in when you've got the best of it.
Right.
And if you keep bleeding off calling pre-flop, especially with hands like that, your chip stack just dwindles and dwindles. And you either have to add on or you have to wait till you have some kind of like an all-in worthy hand.
Right.
And that's the worst kind of way to play.
Yeah.
That's why the Maniac at times can just be really successful, because their range is all over the place and they're playing off feeling that they're constantly just stacking little pots, because their VPIP is so high, right? They're playing so many hands that those little pots accumulate and just keeps growing that mountain. And then it forces him to be able to just leverage that towards random hands and be able to play random hands. You know, King 7, Queen 8. It doesn't matter,
right?
You know, if you keep calling and folding after the flop because it doesn't get there, you put yourself in a really bad spot. Disadvantage on the table to where you're just playing defensively, and then you start playing more like the nit. You start folding a lot more because your stack's low, and now you're waiting for premium hands. And then you get frustrated because, you know, you're card dead.
It's a snowball of negativity.
And like 2 orbits go by and you're like, fuck, all I keep getting is Jack 3 off, 9 deuce off. You know what I mean? Queen 7, what the fuck?
Yep.
And you get frustrated when, if you hadn't bled off those chips in the beginning.
Right.
Misplaying from weird positions like that ace 8 3 betting.
Yeah.
You know, save and then leading out. That was an extra 1120 you would have had on your stack.
Exactly.
That's another 80 you would have had on your stack. That's $200 additional you would have had on your stack on just those 2 hands.
Just those 2. And then there was another. Yep, that was the ace 8. That's right. Yep.
So think about and looking at what your stack is now, 570. Now you'd have 770 in front of you.
Yep.
How much more comfortable would you be with 3-betting pre-flop or raising any 2 cards pre-flop with an extra 200 in front of you?
Yep.
So playing with profit feels better than playing with your own money. So
I love it.
All right. So
Whale calls with 8, Queen 8.
Hijack position for you.
Nit folded that.
You got.
I'm throwing something. 16.
Suited slick. Looks like $16. You had a couple of limpers beforehand, Whale and Fish, as to be expected. Maniac's on the small blind, and as the Maniac does, calls, because you know what? They play by feeling.
Wants to see a flop.
And they also want to try to exploit some weakness. So, you know, he doesn't need to hit perfect. He doesn't need to have premium.
Right.
And the other 2 call because they've got cards and money. So
right.
That's just kind of, you know, same motto. Flop comes up. It's a gin flop for you, nut flush draw. But you're looking at a couple of people with a couple of different hands. Fish with a double gut, so 6 or 10 makes a straight. You got Maniac. He's got a gut shot straight draw. So you bet out 25. Based on pot size. I don't mind it. I think that's a good bet. It's like a little over a third size bet.
And then a turn comes and nail that flush. So do you think that bet should have been slightly larger there?
No.
Okay.
No. Because if you get raised, you can call the raise. You know, if you bet larger and then you get raised, you kind of get put into a spot where you're just like, am I just going to just jam with this 2 overs?
Right.
And nut flush draw, which isn't horrible. Like in most cases, you're 50-50.
Right.
Going against, top pair or 2 pair or even an overpair kind of situation or even a set. As you think about it, you've got,
right.
The flush draw. 9 outs plus if your 2 overs alive, you got another 6. You got 15 outs.
So they both check to me.
You just turn the nuts.
I check it.
You check back, which I don't mind the check back with the nuts. There's the possibility of that scare card.
And then the 7 comes out, and I start thinking to myself, well...
So he bets 50 after the board pairs.
Yeah, so
now, you don't really have too much information other than the fact that he called the flop bet of 25.
Right.
Right? So you raise it up. The fish leads out because he has straight. He turned it, and you didn't bet the turn, which was very deceptive, which is good. And then he leads out river. You raise, which I like trying to grab some value there. Because they're not always going to have a boat. I mean, there's times they will. But he snap called you like fish do because he had a straight.
Right.
How could he fold?
Right.
How could he think that you have a boat or a full house?
You're right.
So I like the raise of that size.
Okay.
I think it's good. He bet 50. You made it 150. You didn't even go 175. I don't think you're getting more than that out of the fish.
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to get too much more.
200 might have been too much.
Interesting.
So I think
where I was okay. That
I think
sizing.
100 more. Yeah, 3x is good. 50 to raising it up to 125, 150 is good. 175 is kind of borderline.
Right. I think this is a throwaway hand here, the 5-2. I think this kind of goes in and out pretty quick here.
Yeah, this looks like nothing.
It's
nothing burger hands.
I'm in it, but it's not a. Yeah, it's kind of a. Oh, I raised to 11 with it. Just
interesting play.
Just fucking around.
Oh,
I was just trying to,
here comes re-raise.
Play some.
Here's lag. He sees this little $11 raise.
That just lit $11.
He's got
on
position.
Fire.
He's got position in 2 Broadway cards. Why not?
Come on, throw it away. Stop playing games.
Whales in it. Whales into play, and you decide that you're going to be Keating. I guess, and just mix it in there with the lowest possible cards.
Yeah.
And at this point, Tag's priced in, but he's actually got a reasonable hand, Jack 9 suited.
Right.
So he's the only one that is acceptable to be in there for the most part.
Right.
And perfect for Tag.
His hand just
goes check.
Yeah.
He's gonna look again. He's gonna check, hoping that. Oh wow, he actually leads out.
40.
Tight aggressive players. I mean, he's worried about flush draw. That's the only reason I can see him leading out right there. Is like somebody could have hearts. I want to find out right now. And it wasn't a big bet. It was a bet of 40, right?
Right.
40 is like third size pot bet, but it's like I want to find out right now who has a flush draw.
Gotcha.
Or a jack, but yeah.
So this hand, before we play this hand out, so Ryan doesn't know my hands before we start the hands. So Ryan told me specifically that he was going to try and kick me out of this pot before the hand started. So let's play this out. All right. Fuck. I was so frustrated after this hand. You literally sent me home on tilt. I was like, fuck.
All right, so you raised up to 20.
Queens from under the gun.
Yeah, Maniac calls with Queen 4 off. Whale's in there. He came to play. Nit is folding as per normal. 3 players. You've got pocket queens, so you're not wanting to see a king or an ace for sure. Flop comes up.
Loving this
Jack
flop.
high, 2 spades. There's 60 in the pot. Whale checks. Pocket queens, you can't check this flop, so you're going to throw out a bet. You throw out a bet of 20. Huh.
Should I have gone higher there? I should have gone higher there, right?
Well, there's 60 in the pot.
That's the third bet wasn't that bad.
I like to protect big pockets a little bit more than
so
that. I might have gone 40.
Okay, so
40 into 60,
spot?
2/3, yeah.
Okay.
Just because I want to make it expensive for a flush draw.
Right, of course. 2 spades on the board.
Call. Now, Whale called probably just because it was last hand of the night and hoping to pick up a heart or an ace.
Right.
That's the only reason he's calling there, especially this tail end of the session, hoping to pick up a miracle. Okay, so board pairs. Worst possible card you could ever want to see with queens. It makes the flush, so and if anybody called with a jack, even with no kicker, now they have trips, and your queens are dead.
And you're sitting here thinking, fuck, I got this guy now.
Oh. Well, I mean, that's something he probably didn't want to see, because raising a 20 typically means, like a big pocket pair.
Right.
You go 1-2 blinds, and it's raised to 20, and it's either like ace-king or a pocket pair of 10s or higher.
Yeah.
So now you bet 60. Now, if you had the jack, maybe you would have bet. If you had the flush, I mean...
Raise the 160. This is where I'm starting to get like,
I think it's a good card to represent, and even from the Maniac standpoint of maybe not necessarily having the jack, you're like, it's less likely he has a jack because the jack came on the turn, and I got a decent kicker with my 4.
Exactly.
So you call, which doesn't really scream that you have a jack. You have a little hesitation.
Right.
And I don't think you had a flush because you didn't re-raise me.
Yep.
Because if you're worried about me raising with the jack,
yep. I gave you all the information you needed to make this play.
Well, if you had a flush, wouldn't you want to get me off of me potentially filling up?
Yes.
Having a full house, catching a 4 or 2 or whatever my kicker is to give me a boat. You'd want to protect your flush. So you didn't re-raise. So I don't think you have a flush. And honestly, maybe it's something I can represent because, frankly, the flush came on the turn, and I raised you. So,
and I'm taking my time here thinking about what I want to do.
The longer you take, the more I feel the weakness. And like you're thinking about potentially bluffing, and if you check, I'm instantly just putting you all in. 400, almost 450 in the middle. And frankly, to a certain degree, I might even think I have the best hand here. Like you
really?
Like you floated with ace-king, you picked up a flush draw on the turn with the ace of spades, and decided to call another 100 more, hoping you can catch a spade, ace, or a king.
Right.
Like maybe my 4 is good.
There are 3 spades up there, so the jack of spades game.
That's what I'm saying. Though.
Oh, yeah,
you
gotcha.
going 4 flush with just the ace of spades.
I feel what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yes. Yeah, ace-king off, like just the ace of spades.
Ace-king off, you let out.
Yes.
You C-bet with overs.
I feel what you're saying, yes.
You're like, I'm going to just see if I can buy it right now with ace-king.
And I'm still thinking in the tank, and it's not even me to call. I'm thinking whether I should bet or not.
Yeah, and the longer you take, the more obvious it is.
The more obvious it is.
That you just don't know what to fucking do.
Exactly.
And anything you do is going to be wrong. With the exception of going all in, but that would have worked
and
for
I
you.
thought about shoving here. I remember telling you that after we played this hand.
You have $600 in front of you, and there's 400. Shove wouldn't make sense either. I mean, I wouldn't call because
go with 4.
Congratulations.
Yeah, right. But the fact that I check here instantly told you what you needed to know.
So I bet 350.
Unfucking believable.
And you insta-fold. You didn't even think about it any longer, which it's understandable.
Like I had already mentally given up.
Yeah, you mentally given up. You mentally put me on either a jack or a flush.
Yep.
And frustrated that your queens just didn't hold.
Yep. They did. I just didn't. I wasn't strong enough to call.
Yeah. And as soon as you see my hand, it obviously just.
I was so pissed. Yeah.
So
you showed me.